Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Delta's Build Democracy Series for Black Policy Day. I am Dr. Shaniqua Smith, and I'm here right now to bring us together with this distinguished guest that we have for tonight. So for this webinar that we have, which is our third webinar for our Black Policy Series, we'll discuss the history and the legacies of our African American organizations that have brought us together. But before we get into our tonight's topic, I want to leave room for our distinguished guests to introduce themselves. So I start out, as I said, I'm Dr. Shaniqua Smith, a restorative practitioner. I, of course, in the illustrious organization of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority at Alpha Delta, spring 2008 at West Virginia State University. I am currently a member of the Charleston Institute Alumni Chapter, where I serve on a few committees, and I'm also a co-chair of the Social Action. And we will introduce our speakers from the inceptions of their organization. So I am going to pass it on to my brother, Eddie, to introduce himself.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? Eddie Whitehead, member of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I joined fall of 2023, last month in November. So, I'm currently employed as a police officer, and I'm just looking forward to just seeing where we can help and get our voices heard.
Thank you. Ms. Karen?
Yes, I want to thank you for inviting me today. My name is Karen Williams, and I am a Golden Soror. I was a charter member of Eta Zeta chapter. We chartered the first AKA chapter in a predominantly white college with AKA here in West Virginia. And being a Golden Soror, I've seen a lot through the years. But what I do want to say is that I am the connection chair along with Jana Coleman for the state of West Virginia. I'm currently a member of Gamma Chi Omega in Morgantown, West Virginia. And it's just a pleasure to be here to share some of our initiatives here with you today.
Thank you. Brother Bobby.
I'm Bobby Robinson. I'm sorry if I can't have my camera on right now because I'm driving, but nevertheless, I'm just leaving church. But I'm Bobby Robinson. I crossed in spring of 1985 at West Virginia Institute of Technology, Gamma Lambda chapter. I've, of course, been in the frat now for 38 years and seen, just like Karen said, seen a lot of things transpire over this many years. And again, it's a joy to be here. I work at the insurance end. I'm an insurance professional here in Charleston, and been doing that for 30 years, actually. And again, try to do as much as I can to continue to uplift the community. And that's basically it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Deidre Guyton. I am the social liaison chair for social action for the state of West Virginia with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I have been a member of Bluefield Alumni Chapter for 24 years, and I am currently the Vice President for Corporate Development at Bluefield State University.
Thank you, Soror. Shaisha?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shaisha Langley. I graduated from West Virginia State University, where I joined Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Iota Beta chapter. I am currently grad chapter's president, which is Alpha Alpha Xi Zeta here in Charleston.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for being part of the Divine Nine, but we have other organizations, African-American organizations that have been bedrocks in our community. And I would like to start with introducing one of them, even though he is a bro, but Mr. Kenneth Hale.
Good evening, everyone. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Hale, and I'm a member of Washington Lodge number 4, a free and accepted Masons Prince Hall affiliate of the Most Virtual Grand Lodge, Prince Hall Grand Lodge of West Virginia, where the Honorable Most Virtual Grand Master Kelvin H. Elmore serves as our current Grand Master. And hopefully I can bring some historical perspective to this meeting tonight and from a civil rights perspective. I yield back.
Thank you so much for your participation. And I would like to also introduce our delegate Hollis Lewis was also serving 2 roles as our frat brother, but also serving as our delegate.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Hollis Lewis. I'm a delegate in the West Virginia House of Delegates, representing the 57th district. I'm also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Xi Alpha Fall 2021. In addition, I am the CIT director at First Choice Services in West Virginia.
Well, thank you so much for your introductions. And as we can see, we definitely have a distinguished guest, not only for our organizations that we have been a part of for a long time, but also for the work that we're currently doing in our communities. And so now we're going to open up the space for each individual to actually, Trina, I didn't see you, Trina. There you go. Thank you before I go for Trina, there you go.
You're
I
muted.
hear you.
You're muted.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the invitation to take part in this webinar. I am a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Delta, which is Alpha Omicron Omega chapter at Charleston Institute. I'm also representing the Link Incorporated, in which came in 2019. Incorporated. I am a doctor/professor at West Virginia State University, and currently I am teaching all freshmen and teaching in the education department.
Thank you all for being here in this space and be able to share this history. And so the purpose of us all coming together is, first of all, for us to remember and acknowledge the work that our ancestors have did and the shoulders that we are actually standing on. And most importantly, to educate our communities of the different work that all our organizations have contributed to. And I know we stand proud in all our different organizations, but one thing we all come together, especially as we form the National Pan-Hellenic Council, where we all come together with our unique perspectives to make sure that we work together to support our community economically, educationally, financially, and in our health. And so as we go forth, each presenter is going to share the history of their organization, work that their even current organization do, and any upcoming things that they have coming up for 2024 that as community members, we can continue to support. Because as we continue to support our community, we continue to build our civic engagement throughout. And so everybody get ready, make sure you invite your friends to the space as we continue to go on. And I will start with opening it up with our brother Eddie to share with us.
So one of the national programs for Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is Voteless People is a Hopeless People. We go out, register people to vote. Started in the 1930s where, we initially got the right to vote, but we were prevented from voting through poll taxes and all the other kind of racist taxes that was used at the time. So we mobilized to get as many people as we could to register to vote, because we all know that if you don't vote, you don't necessarily have a voice. One of the things now with that program that we're doing, Voteless People is a Hopeless People, is we move towards empowering people through their right to vote. And we also, host town hall meetings and things of that nature as an organization for Alpha Alpha. So, we get this year coming up is a very important election year for us. So one of our focuses is going to be is giving people the knowledge through that national campaign that we do here on the local level.
Thank you so much for sharing the work that you all are currently doing and how we can actually come in and be a part of that. And now I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Williams.
I am just so honored to be here to speak with you today. Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority was founded in 1908 during the times of segregation, and women couldn't even vote. So we have come a long, long way with the political action that we have. Our program is called Connection and Social Action. And we try to connect not only with our sorors, but we like collaboration also. We were founded at Howard University, as I said, and we have graduate chapters in Institute, Charleston, we have them in Huntington, we have Bluefield, we have Epsilon Delta Omega in Beckley, we have Gamma Chi Omega in Morgantown. And we work together with our national initiative, which is currently soaring, because we want to be able to soar above and see what's going on in our country, and also to be integral in what's happening in our communities. We have undergraduate chapters at New Chapter, West Virginia State University, Eta Zeta chapter in Marshall University, Eta Omicron chapter of WVU, and we have New Pi that's being rejuvenated in Beckley. Also Bluefield State, we have another undergraduate chapter there. We have really stressed, and one of the national initiatives is to get people who look like us in the legislature, on city council, on the school board. And currently we have elected officials that have served, such as Soror Marie Red, who was a senator in our legislature. We now have Delegate Anitra Hamilton, who is from Morgantown, who is representing us in the legislature. We have city council members, Jennifer Farr, and the Charleston City Council. Also, Sandra Clements is a city council person in Huntington, West Virginia. Our honeydew, who is an Omega, Gregory Epps, is also on the city council in northern West Virginia, outside of Morgantown. We do collaborative activities. We have a national collaboration with the Poor People's Campaign. We work with the NAACP. We work with various boards and political action committees throughout the state. I helped with Shaniqua. We founded the Black Voter Impact Initiative, and I'm on the Tuesday morning group, Rise Up West Virginia. We have held AKA Day at the legislature for years. We have national AKA Day at the national capitol. We have been instrumental in getting everybody together for the stroll to the poll. And we were strolling all over the state of West Virginia. You will be called to stroll again during the next year primary and also with the general election. We worked on caravans where we drove our cars around with the John Lewis Act, with celebration after the last election. We are nonpartisan. We are a 501(c)(3), but we hold get out the vote activities at churches. Any place you ask us to come, we will show up. We have social media. We have social media videos that we send out to encourage people on Facebook, Twitter, to get out the vote. And we also were we were very visible at the Juneteenth celebrations last year. Some of the things that we're really concentrating on is the Crown Act, where our natural hair is not something that you can get fired about. We have spoken out about that. We've shown up. We have we're trying to stay current with what we're doing. And I want all of you to remember right now the issue that we need to address with the land grant money that is owed to West Virginia State University. We need to come together to make sure that our governor and our legislatures know that they owe us over $500 million for the money that was not given to the land grant, West Virginia State University. I'm a Marshall grad, but that upsets me when they feel like they can just do this to us without anybody speaking up. These are just some of the things, some of the successes and the things that I know that I appreciate all of you coming together. When we celebrated when Kamala Harris became vice president, we showed unity in voting. We showed unity in showing up and celebrating together. Also, one of our first really big political sorors was Eleanor Roosevelt. And a lot of people don't know that. But that really initiated our impact as far as coming in and being political, nonpartisan, but also making sure that our members all are registered to vote. We check our church members, our families, to make sure they're not purged from the rolls, and that we are actively getting people out to vote.
Thank you so much for sharing in the work. We definitely appreciate the work that's being done, has been done and being done now. Brother Bobby?
Trying to come off of mute, Dr. Shaniqua. There we go. All right. I'll pull it off the road so I can talk and see y'all. All right. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, our major thing that we do in regard to the voting is the voters registration, education, and mobilization. We call it VRAM. And it's a nationally mandated program that we've been doing now for many years, actually, where we actually not just register people to vote, but we go to the schools. Our chapter goes to Capitol High School as well as South Charleston High School and register voters there, because again, a lot of those young people are going to be turn 18 by the time it's time for the election, as well as our undergraduates at Theta Psi. They go and do the same thing, not only on the campus at West Virginia State University, but they also go to the high schools as well and do the same things in helping with the voters registration. Being registered to vote is one thing, but as we all know, oftentimes we're registered, but then we don't do anything with that vote. Henceforth, we try to make sure we educate people regarding the various issues and the various policies and the various situations that are at stake. So therefore, we can make sure we're most intellectual and most wise in our decision making with the way in which we do want to pool our voting together and try to rally people behind common sense type of matters that's going to be the most beneficial, in particularly to us people of color, in particular Black and brown people. And then not only do we do the education, we also do the mobilization. Because again, oftentimes, again, we have a large aging populace that do not have transportation to get to the polls. We also have a marginalized population that sometimes don't have transportation to the polls. So with those things being in place, we try to make sure we do get partner with various churches and other community organizations that we can utilize their buses and do things of that nature, and or even our own personal cars to make sure we're taking people to the polls and making sure that everybody has that opportunity to get to vote. That's on our national level. Some of the things that we've been able to do, and Sister Williams mentioned, my best friend actually is a councilman up in Morgantown, West Virginia, actually in Star City, West Virginia, Dr. Gregory Epps, yes. Star City councilman. We have, again, one of our very own brother Larry Moore, who is a city councilman here in Charleston, West Virginia, Ward 4. And of course, you've already heard from our dear distinguished brother, Hollis Lewis, who is a House of Delegate representative as well. So we do strive to make sure that our brothers are engaging and working in the various fields of political power and making a difference where we can and every way we possibly can. And not only that, look back through history. And again, not going to give a history lesson, but as we all know, when all of our organizations were started, most of our organizations were started we were not even considered as humans, let alone people. We were just, really put down and really in a horrible state of affairs. And one of the things that I know Omega was really big on was we was birthed out of conflict, we was birthed out of fighting, birthed out of going against the grain. Because again, even at a HBCU, because we were the very first Black fraternity to ever be founded on the Black college campus. There had never been another Black fraternity to come together and be at a Black college, to be founded at a Black college campus. But they didn't want to happen. So we had to had to go against the grain in that regard. And we was able to get us not only founded there, but also able to make it get chartered and become internationally organization, which took a lot of work and a lot of effort. But we always have had to go through so many different things like that. That makes it a natural thing to do when we're trying to make policy changes and trying to make sure that we are getting the rights and getting the opportunities and the accesses to the things that we should have. We're willing to go for it and fight for it in the same kind of zeal and same kind of fervor. One of the things just one other note is some people's I mean, everybody's heard about how crazy DeSatan is right now. I'm sorry, I did say it. DeSantis, I'm sorry, but everybody has heard of all the things that all the policies, all the things that he's doing. But we have our national our conclave is scheduled to be down there in 2024. It was a big ruckus. All kinds of fighting amongst ourselves about this scenario, whether or not we should go. But Omega Men have never ran from anything. We find a fight and we get in it. So therefore we're saying we're going to Tampa. We're going there and we're taking hundreds of books to every single after school program, every single program that has down there, all the banned books that the Satan's banning, we're taking. That's the ones we're buying. We're taking them down there. We're gonna give them to these kids. We have programs set up reading programs with the thing. We're doing trainings for all the after school programs in our communities, in the Black community and so forth. And we're also going to Tallahassee. We're also going there too to do the lobbying when that time comes as well. So we're not gonna fear a fight. We're gonna jump in the fight. So therefore, we're gonna make a difference. That's what we're all called to do: is making a difference in the lives of Black people, and that's what we're striving to do in the best way we possibly can. So, Dr. Shaniqua, again, I always applaud you. I love you and appreciate all the work that you do. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for the work that you all continue to do, especially with the voting. And I want us to definitely be aware that in the primaries coming up, this is when a lot of judges are elected. So we need to make sure that we educated and we active, because a lot of people pass the primaries and then they just wait for the general elections. But our local elections are just as important as our national elections. So we want to make sure we all do our diligence and educate our communities to let them know that this primaries, yes, we got to go into the general, but we want to make sure that our judges that are being elected, that we are aware of what they're going on. Thank you, Omega Man, for doing the work that y'all doing and continue to do it. And we are now going to switch over to our brother Ray, Kappa Alpha Psi.
Good evening, folks. How you all doing?
Quite well,
Hello?
sir. Quite
Hey,
well.
how's everybody? My name is Ray Whiting, and I'm the Paul Mark, president of the Charleston Alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. And Providence Paul Mark is Marcus Bailey. Right now, we are in a fight right now. There's so much to go over right now, and we just need to buckle down and get ready for the next election, because again, it's like a dam right now, and the thing is, it's about to bust open with a bunch of hatred. And we are at a point right now that we know the basics of civics and political science. But these young kids that's about to come out of high school, and to piggyback off what Bobby said, you have to get them into schools, get them registered to vote. But we also have to look at what they're learning in high school in civics, and that is something that I'm personally trying to get some information on as far as the syllabus for civics in Kanawha County schools, because we don't know what they're teaching our kids, and they believe anything and everything at this point right now but the right thing. But we as leaders, as pillars in the community, we have to correct the ship. We have to right the wrong, because again, if we don't do it now, I mean, it's going to be, we'll forever lose the game. And the way things are in today's politics here in West Virginia, it is very scary. It's not. I don't believe it's so much as far as they try to take away our vote. They can. I mean, again, we're outnumbered to begin with, and our strongest suit, our strong points will be in Charleston, and everybody else outside, I mean, it's pretty much 99% white or Republican control. But the thing is, right now, we are looking at trying to correct a situation where there were some bills that came out that was passed about 20 years ago. And Brother Matthew Watts talked about it, as well as Brother Rick Martin. we're talking about some of these bills that was passed that it was directed towards the African American communities. And Shaniqua, if I'm able to, can I share something with you all? Can I do that?
Yes, can you?
Hmm?
Did it give you the ability? Did you try?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so maybe it won't let me. Okay. Well, there was a bunch of bills that was passed, again, about 20 years ago. And the thing is, it was a matter of funding these bills that was passed. The problem is right now, no one is putting money into these coffers here. And so what happens is we're trying to beat the doors down and get folks, get these legislatures to say, hey, listen, this is what was passed. Please fund. Now, according to the governor, he said that there's a $1.7 billion surplus. I know there isn't. And so it's a matter of redirecting some of these monies into these other coffers. And basically, it's from the CARES Act, from COVID money. But the thing is, that money can be used for our communities. And that is something that we are trying to tackle, trying to overcome. And again, right now, we're just at a point, it's all hands on deck. And we have to do all what we can to right the ship and everything. And again, let Black folks have a fair share of what is due to us. Let's have a fair share. I yield back to you.
Brother Wright, and we thank you, appreciate you for your sharing, and definitely have to be equipped and ready for this upcoming legislative to have these conversations that we need to have with these legislators. Next, I am pass it on to my soror, Dr. Dejan, Dr. Guyton, sorry sis, to talk to us about our beautiful sorority.
Good evening. Delta Sigma Theta sorority was founded in January of 1913 by 22 collegiate women at Howard University, promoting academic excellence and providing assistance to those in need. The founders of Delta Sigma Theta envisioned an organization committed to sisterhood, scholarship, service, and addressing the social issues of the time. Since its founding, we have been doing what we basically were founded on, and that is public service. Our first act of public service was the Women's Suffrage March in Washington. Over the years, a wide range of programs addressing education, health, international development, and the strengthening of African American families has evolved. The major programs of the sorority are based upon our 5-point thrust, which is economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. Currently in West Virginia, we have 6 alumni chapters and 4 collegiate chapters doing the work of Delta with public service. Our Delta Days at the state capitol will coincide with our Black Policy Day, which is February the 7th of 2024. I belong to the Bluefield alumni chapter, and we have participated. We've taken upon ourselves feeding a family for Thanksgiving, ringing the bell for the Salvation Army. In March, we will be hosting our Founders Day. We have our annual Red and White Ball for scholarship. We've also participated in voter registration and checking to make sure that those people that are registered are still in the system. One of the things that I do at Bluefield State, we kind of wrote a grant for a STEM academy, which is called the President's Emerging Scholars Academy. And it was established to help or introduce underrepresented students of color from grades 7 through 11 to the STEM system. So what we did there, and we want to thank American Electric Power because they did give us over $250,000 to do this. We started our pilot last year with 13 students, and we hope to evolve and continue to get bigger. Our program will start in July of 2024. If you have any questions about that, I'll be sending Dr. Smith information to disperse to everyone. As you can see, we are still continuing, as I said before, to do what we were founded on, which was public service. And wherever there is a need for something to be done, Delta Sigma Theta is right there doing it. And I will yield back to my soror.
Thank you, Soror. We definitely appreciate you. And I want us to kind of pause and just look, because a lot of us, people think when they talk about sororities and fraternities that this is just a collegiate thing. But I see individuals here that committed decades of their lives to being in this space to make sure that we stand in a voice for our communities and make sure we continue to do this work. Thank you all. And so now I am going to yield the floor to my cousin, Shaisha, to teach us about the Zeta Phi Beta.
Okay, so of course, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated was founded on January 16, 1920 on the campus of Howard University. Some of our national programs that we have is Get Engaged. Within the last 6 years, we've impacted over 100,000 people, you know, with programs as like Get Out to Vote, you know, police relations, domestic violence forums, and many more. That's on a national level, but locally, ever since I've crossed Spring 20, the first thing we were involved in was the Juneteenth March. That was June 19, 2020. I think that was the first year. It was actually on June 19th. That was one thing we've done. Another thing was Stroll to the Polls, of course. And here lately, we've just been giving back to the community overall. One of our upcoming events, December 20th, actually, will be helping with the toy drive. So we're still trying to keep ourselves involved with the community as much as we can. And, you know, when my cousin, Dr. Smith, offered me the invitation for Black Policy, I hopped on it because I felt like our presence needs to be there as well. And just overall, the entire D9 being there, that would be such an amazing thing, because I know you had it last year, if I'm correct, I'm sure. But yeah, this would be such a great honor just to have us all there and representing for the community just alone.
Thank you so much. And that's the goal, because we cannot be a system unless we come together and collectively be a system. And so not only for Black Policy Day, because Black Policy Day is just a representative of what we continue to need to do every day, and especially in our communities. And so thank you all for representing, as we call the Divine Nine, and these Greek organizations that most of us been in existence over 100 years. And so that we're definitely standing on the shoulders of our ancestors as we continue to do that work. But we don't only have the Divine Nine, we have historic African-American organizations that have been in our community even as long, doing the work and sustaining our people. So I definitely would like to yield the floor to our brother, Kenneth Hill, who actually is wearing 2 hats.
Again, good evening, everyone. I'm here to represent the Prince Hall Masons jurisdiction of West Virginia. I would like to say I am a lifetime member of the NAACP, former state conference president of the NAACP, former branch president in Charleston, and I'm a lifetime member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, which I joined in 1974 at Marshall University, Clinton, West Virginia. But as I'm here to talk about Prince Hall Masons, I thought it would be easier because you can tell I'm a member of Tuesday Morning Group, so I kind of don't want to duplicate what others have said. I just want to give you a list of folks who are Prince Hall Masons that are part of our Black history. And if you'll stay with me for a second, I'm going to read their names. And if you're not familiar with them, I can send you a link. But here it goes. In athletics, Ralph H. Metcalf, the Olympic champion. Scottie Pippen, the Chicago Bulls. Sugar Ray Robinson, mid and light heavyweight champion. Julian Bond. Thomas Bradley, mayor of LA. Emmanuel Cleaver, mayor of Kansas City. Dwight Evans, Pennsylvania State Rep. Medgar Wiley Evers, the NAACP field secretary. Chaka Fattah, a congressman. Wilson Good, first Black mayor of Philadelphia. Augustus F. Hawkins, congressman. Benjamin L. Hooks, former executive director of NAACP. Vincent J. Hughes, state rep and senator. Reverend Jesse Jackson, Kwasi Mfume, Charles Rangel, Al Sharpton, Carl Stokes, Louis Stokes, Michael C. Watson, Lawrence Douglas Wilder, Andrew Young, and Commerce, James Fortin and Richard D. Gidron. Education, W.B. Du Bois, Benjamin Mays, Booker T. Washington, and Charles H. Wesley. Entertainment, Edbert, Austin Burt Williams, an actor and comedian. Exploration, Matthew Henson, Samuel T. Daniels, A. Leon Hickenbottom, Harry A. Williamson, Timothy Thomas Fortune, John H. Johnson, publisher, Ebony and Jet magazines. Robert Sinstack, Abbott, the founder and publisher of the Chicago Defender. And labor, A. Philip Randolph. Law, Thurgood Marshall. Military, Daniel Chappie James. Music, William Count Basie. James Herbert U.B. Blake. Nat King Cole. Edward Kennedy, known as the Duke Ellington. Lionel Hampton, William C. Handy. And religion, Richard Allen, the founder, First Bishop, AME Church. And I would like to mention those names because if you know anything about them from your Black history lessons or readings, you know, these people were very involved in our engagement. And we are named after Prince Hall, who was one of the original 15 founders of Prince Hall Masonry. They were part of a Boston British military regiment. And when they got the opportunity to join the lodge, they weren't able to operate on their own. So they petitioned the United Grand Lodge of England in 1784. Now, I know that Alpha's on here, but the oldest fraternity in America is Prince Hall Masons. In 1787, we were granted a warrant to operate as a Grand Lodge in the United States. We're in 47 states. I say that even though there's 53 states are combined with other jurisdictions because of other numbers. We currently have 275 members. Again, regurgitate and we'll piggyback on what Ms. Karen Williams say with a slight correction. It's close to $853 million that the state should have paid West Virginia State University and land grant monies. And we're encouraging people to join in that discussion. We also would like people, as a member of Tuesday Morning Group, carry this a little bit further and create not only a divine nine, but a talented 10th, as Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois talked about, of putting these organizations. So it's not about the small numbers of our lodges or our chapters, but the greater symbolism and representation we'd have if we combine our efforts and join as one speak. I yield back my time.
Thank you so much for sharing in the history and the work, and not only the past history, but continuing to do the work presently as you all doing. So thank you very much. And now I would like to yield it over to my social action buddy out here doing the work, Trina, for the links.
Hello, I'm back. Hello, I am representing the Links Incorporated. The Links was founded in 1946 in Philadelphia during World War II, and it's a group of women that came together as friends and started out as a club. Then they started doing social action things. The meeting started on November the 9th. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Charleston Institute chapter. The Charleston Institute chapter was established May 12th, 1951, and is one of the only 2 chapters in West Virginia. We are committed to transforming our community and fulfilling our purpose. We accomplish this through 5 programs. We have 5 facets that we work with every year. We have services to youth, the arts, national trends and services, international trends and services, and health and human services. So we concentrate mostly on the youth. Some of the things we've done in the community, we have a Martin Luther King celebration every year at the Martin Luther King Center. If you have not been to that, I highly recommend you come in 24. It's a big community event. We celebrate our history. We celebrate Martin Luther King. The students are involved, kids are involved, parents are involved. It's a way to come together and celebrate our history and to celebrate Brown people. We've been around, we're very active in our community. We don't do a whole lot like getting out the vote, but we mainly work with the youth. We have a STING program at Mary C. Snow. We will be working with the Upward Bound youth in things like planning and career services. We also do things such as we have heart walks, and we give donations to sojourners. We just had Sunday, we just dropped off a bunch of socks and hats and gloves to sojourners for the homeless. So we do things throughout the community like that. And that is the Links Incorporated.
Well, thank you so much, Sister Trina, for all the work you and the Links continue to do in our community, especially with our youth, because our ancestor Frederick Douglass said it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. So it's so important that we continue to be that village and garden around our youth. And so I thank you all for working in these organizations and standing for years and decades on continue to do this work. But we know that we haven't had decades of space in politics and in legislative and in power. And so we constantly have to continue to create that space. And so we're very proud of our delegate, Hollis Lewis, who is there on the trenches. And we want to make sure that we align with our delegates and make sure that we as a community are working together to make change. And so I'm going to yield the floor to our delegate Lewis to speak to us in this space.
All right, thank you for having me. One of the primary things that I want to speak on today is Miss Karen and Coach Kenny mentioned, West Virginia State is owed nearly $850+ million. Now, again, West Virginia is not alone in this. There's been 16 other states which have been underfunded by their various states. When we look at it, 2 states have been able to recoup some of those funds, and that's Maryland and Tennessee. They've been able to do that not through legislation, but through lawsuits. So I've been working diligently with various organizations, kind of on the back end, particularly Pastor Watts, Dr. Friesen, Shaniqua Smith, and various organizations. In addition to, like I said, Maryland and Tennessee, there's currently suits going on. So North Carolina is in lawsuit, or beginning the lawsuit, initiating it, and Florida is too. And the good thing about North Carolina is that we actually have an attorney on that team who is from West Virginia, William Harding. So we've been in discussions. So he's wrapping up a trial next week. So what we are going to do with the various organizations that I mentioned and anybody else that wants to take part in this, I want to have a conference call with Attorney Harding and some of our, myself and Sean Horbuckle and Anitra Hamilton, our legislators, and various community group organizations to see, as far as the strategic point, is how we can actually get this, because we're not going to get it through March and we're not going to get it through Peel. Again, I plan to write a bill in order to get some of this money, but we have to attack this from all fronts. We need to attack it from a grassroots standpoint. We have to attack it legislatively. And most important, we have to attack it through our court system. And with that, we are going to need support from every organization on here, all your friends, anybody that you know. We are going to need a plethora of support to really come as one to actually recoup any of that money that we hope to see. In addition, I want to say that, again, we've mentioned voting on this call, and that's very important. So I don't want to, say it's not. But we have to start speaking with our dollars. Not only do we have 3 legislators, myself, Sean Hornbuckle, and Anitra Hamilton, we are the only African-American Black legislators in the West Virginia House or Senate side. We have a plethora of city council people throughout the state. We have a couple mayors, and we even have a judge, at least on the state level. So what I want to really see is that not only do we have a Black Policy Day where we try to get our issues out, but we need to have a Black fundraising day. We need to actually speak with our dollars. It's just not enough to do in kind. It's not enough to vote no more because elections cost money. And we're talking about some of these tight races. We're talking about going up with a contingency of Republicans who are highly organized and highly funded. So not only are you talking about a Black candidate, but you're talking about a Black Democrat candidate. Again, I understand that a lot of the organizations, we are nonpartisan. However, I would like to see us at least, loosely affiliated through our Divine Nine connection. We need to start thinking PACs. We need to start thinking pooling our money and actually, supporting candidates who we feel like have a strong chance to win. So that way, not only do we have a voting interest, but we also have a financial stake. Because when you do have a financial stake, your phone calls get answered a little bit quicker than maybe not. So, and not only just Black candidates, candidates around the state who are representing our interests, representing our district. So I would like to see us be a little bit more strategic in how we play this political game, not only from a standpoint of how we traditionally know it, but from a modern standpoint and a more direct path in order to get some of the things that we want done and have our voices thoroughly heard. Again, I thank you for having me, and I yield my time.
Thank you, Delegate Lewis. We definitely appreciate that. And speaking on putting some work on the HBCU, the Tuesday morning group is organizing a rally December 12th, which is during during interims. And this would be 9 a.m. at the Capitol on the Lower Rotunda. And so if you can, this would be Tuesday. Upcoming interims would be Sunday to Tuesday. And so on December 12th, the Tuesday morning group, along with other allies, will be there at December 12th at 9 a.m. to have a rally to actually start putting some education and getting some answers to this. Because if we don't stand for ourselves, no one is going to stand for us. And speaking of interims is a time that we need to take some time to engage. A lot of times we're taught to wait till February when legislative comes to fight off a lot of bad bills, when we need to get on agenda early. So interims are very important. So the next interim will be December 10th to 12th. This is the best time for you to go down to meet with your lawmakers, because many of your lawmakers have no idea about what is going on in our communities and what is the recommendations. And so we need to come together and find out what recommendations we would like towards our legislators. And also we need to talk to them to find out what bills that they have coming up, what different bills are coming up. We want to make sure that we're aware of that. And I also want to thank our caucus. We have our Democratic caucus that if your organization have any bills or any issues that they would like to do during legislative season, you can make an appointment to meet with our Democratic caucus on Tuesdays at 5:30. And so this will be a space for you to for us to start aligning instead of waiting up there and just to be defensive. And so I just want to thank all our panelists tonight for sharing with us and showing us not only the work that has been done, but the work that is continued to be done. Let us continue to create these spaces where we can commune with each other, educate each other, and make sure we all strategic as we continue to go out and do this work. I want to also invite you all to a couple of events that's coming up. We do have a webinar. Our next webinar will be January 16th. A few days after session start, and this webinar will focus on the power of our story. Many times we are intimidated to deal with our legislators because we think about what we don't know, but it's important for us to go with the information and the recommendations that we do know to educate our lawmakers. And so what problems we have in our community that we can turn to policies. As community members, as thought leaders in our community, it's our responsibility to come together to find out how we can take the issues in our community and turn them into policy. Also, the women of the NAACP is actually having their dinner with the Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs. And this will happen Sunday, December 10th at 12:30. This would be at the state capitol on the California side. So it's very important for us to be in these spaces, to talk to our legislators, to support each other. And once again, this is the Women of NAACP WIN that they're hosting a dinner with with a luncheon with the Herbert Henderson Legislative Luncheon. And this would be 12:30 on Sunday. So if you can attend this, that would be awesome. We have the webinar. And also, my chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority is hosting the screening of The Color Purple on Sunday, December 17th. And so this is a time for us to support not only our movies, but also for us to come together as community members and enjoy each other, and also bring our kids out, good family members. So we would appreciate you all if you can come and support that space right before the holidays. And also, we have a few minutes left, so I really would like to open up this space to our panelists or to address any questions that I haven't seen in the chat.
Dr. Shanika Smith?
Yes.
Brother Hale here. I would like to add value to something Ray Whiting mentioned earlier and Hollis alluded to about the legislative fight for the West Virginia State University land grant monies. I would like to refer to, again, a historical document. 20 years ago this month, the Select Committee on Minority Affairs put out a 23 findings of fact and 36 recommendations to continue to doing an analysis of the African-American population here in West Virginia. It's the background we use in the Tuesday morning group to get the monies, well, to get bills passed, dealing with that, education gap and things of that nature, as well as a Minority Economic Development Fund. But in that at that time of that document, they said they didn't attach a fiscal note, which means they got no funding. Well, the governor sits over $400+ million to Economic Development Authority. So I would encourage Delegate Hollis Lewis, my good frat brother, to look at that document and maybe even add an amendment or inclusion to creating those dollars to go to those fiscal notes, as well as the Black grant monies. But that was through the American Rescue Plan Act funds. The $1 billion plus surplus supposedly in the governor's budget is also going to have additional monies with the opioid monies that are coming in. They're not fully using the infrastructure money, and instead of turning back money back into the federal government, there are additional things that could be funded as far as our communities of color are concerned. And we need to, address that or aid and assist those who represent us, because I think if you use a legislative document that was a forerunner to establishing the Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs, which got amended, and use that office to actually advocate for us, we could actually have some legislative capital in the executive branch. And I think we need to consider, going back and not just sort of reinventing the wheel, use the wheel that's already been rolling. And I yield back my time.
Thank you so much. Any more comments or upcoming events from the panelists?
There's an event on Monday at 7 o'clock. So many times we don't even know what the issues are. And what Kenny was trying to tell you are some of the things that have been going on now for decades that have not been funded and ignored by our government. But we need to become better educated about some of these issues. And the Tuesday morning group is holding a Zoom at 7 o'clock. And Shaniqua, I'm going to ask you to send out the information to all the people on this call. We need to advertise it because we need to be educated and informed. We're going to talk about the summary of recommendations compiled by the West Virginia Legislative Select Committee on Minority Affairs. I'm sure that many of us are not even aware of the issues that have been addressed, but not even funded. The other thing is we need to take a look at the findings and recommendations of the 2003 Select Committee that Kenny was talking about, because this is crucial. This has been going on since 2003, and we still don't have the money to implement things that can help our people, our community. And just remember, in West Virginia, with so many of our children, at least over 40% living under the poverty level, it's not just our Black children that are suffering. It's poor Appalachian whites also. So we need to get our allies together. We need to be educated and informed. And I'll yield my time, but we need to show up Monday at 7 on a Zoom, and we're going to advertise it. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Thank you. Definitely please forward us that information so we can definitely be attendance. Any more comments for our panelists before we go?
Yes. Okay. Right now, we are Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. We are hosting this mentoring program called Kappa League. Kappa League is a nationally known program. It's been in existence for over 50 years. And right now, we are in the first year of bringing it here into the Valley. And we're hoping for this program to grow. At the same time, we are hosting a Christmas gala on December 16th at the India Center. We're still selling tickets right now, so if you're not doing anything, again, I'll be more than happy to sell you a ticket. And so it comes with little perks and everything. And of course, the proceeds go to the Kappa Foundation. Also, I am the chairman for the Juneteenth committee. And we're trying to get ready for Juneteenth 2024. And Ms. Karen and I and a few other folks, we are putting stuff together, getting things ready for 2024. And I want to include all of Divine Nine into this and make this one momentous occasion. And this is something that I would like to do to where I want to put West Virginia on the map. Okay. So that's what I have cooking right now. And also, again, just looking for support and everything. And also, Dr. Shaniqua, the screening of The Color Purple, the movie, I'd like to have a free ticket, please. Thank you.
Speaking of that, Dr. Shaniqua, what if you don't have PayPal to purchase a ticket? Just asking for a friend.
Well, I will find that out and get that information to you. But I'm sure there's a way.
To buy a ticket?
Oh, I think you said that you was gonna give us a couple of free tickets. Sure. Just drop them off. We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it.
She turned that around, didn't she?
I know. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What? I didn't hear that.
Dr. Smith, I would like to announce that applications are now going to be accepted for our President's Emerging Scholars Academy. Like I said, I will send you out the information, a link to the information, a link to our YouTube page explaining what we do and why we do it at Bluefield State University. And in addition to that, we are planning on doing a series of coding courses for our students in grades 7 through 11. So I will be sending you out the information for that as well, and that's going to come from the grant also.
Well, thank you, Dr. Guyon, for informing us in that. And we definitely need to create the space for us to know what's going on, because I know Ray just said that the Kappas is having a gala on the 16th. And I also know Keep Your Faith Corporation is having their mentor gala on the 16th. So we want to make sure we get together, because it's enough for us, but if we can have a gala every other week, that is great, but we don't want to have them on the same night, because we're trying to be, there's only a few of us, so we're trying to be everywhere.
Right,
so
right.
Make sure that we support them.
Mega in Morgantown is having a paint and sip for scholarship fundraising on the 17th in Morgantown. So I would be there at the Color Purple, but I've got to be in Morgantown because we're raising money for those students there. There's enough hands we need to be in every community. And, I just appreciate what you're doing here today. And hopefully we can come together and become a unified voice. That's what we need here in the state of West Virginia.
that's what we're working towards. I want to thank you all tonight for the giving of your time, the sharing of your wisdom. This is not the last time for us to get together to continue to build these spaces so we can build our people. Thank you, everyone. And if you want, let everyone know that these recordings will be on our Facebook Live so they can look at them later and check them out. And we look forward to seeing you all in interims. And if we don't see you in interims, we see you at our next webinar, January 16th. Good night, and everyone take care.
Quick public service announcement. Bishop Haley, A More Excellent Way, is asking for emergency donations for their toy drive that they want to give out. Evidently, you know, with COVID and all these other things and this gas crisis here on the west side, they're running short on the contributions. So if you can introduce it to your organizations or to people within your circle for this Christmas holiday, please give the More Excellent Way. It's at 5 Corners here on the west side. Bishop Haley.
Thank you so much for letting us know, and please support Bishop Haley and More Excellent Way if you can. Well, thank you, everyone, and look forward to seeing you again. Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good
Thank you
night.
for the
Hey, y'all
invitation.
take it.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Good night.
Good night.
This was
God bless.
great.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, bye.